Live and direct back at you right here on Amazon Fire TV with another rendition of Monday Night Live. My name is Mo Rock alongside Dr. Natalie Forrest. And boy, don't we have a real fitting subject matter this week, Dr. Natalie Forrest, given the time of the year?
Yeah, but it depends on where you are in the world, right? Because we have definitely an international panel. And so, yes, it is timely for the U.S. and it's timely every single day of the year.
Absolutely. And good morning to one of our first people rolling in the audience in the virtual auditorium, Mr. Pankaj Dayal. Good morning to you as well. Of course, this week, Natalie, what we're talking about with our exciting panel is the power of gratitude. I think that gratitude, not only during November, when here in the United States we practice Thanksgiving, at least those rebels out there, they like to break the law, right? But consequently, I think that gratitude is one of the most underrated qualities in the human experience, Natalie, because really, whenever you talk about being successful in life with your relationships, financially, in your business, or just being fulfilled, it always starts with gratitude. I mean, think about it, Natalie. How can you possibly ever truly be happy, truly be fulfilled in your life or in your business without starting with gratitude? I think that you would agree that it's impossible to be truly successful in life without practicing gratitude. Would you not agree?
Do I have a choice at this point? No, of course I agree. But I think what you're hinting at and what is so intensely crucial for human beings is that we've been trained to always look at the bad. And so, at some point in our life, we actually need to get retrained to understand if you're just grateful, you might be amazed at which doors open up. And it's the little things that you can be grateful for, right? I mean, just like the cup of coffee in the morning, or when somebody smiles at you on the street, just that openness can change so much. And then you transfer that further and further into business, into your job, into your profession. And it's just that whole energy opens up doors.
It reminds me of something that a friend of ours, Dr. Joe Vitale, who will be at the Los Angeles Tribune Quantum Leap Forum this February. For those of you that have not signed up yet, be sure to visit the website for more information on our mailing list. And, it's amazing, Natalie, because they asked Dr. Joe Vitale for those that might be struggling, for those that might be, in a situation where they're not doing well financially, they feel like all hope is lost. Where do you start? And he said some magical, powerful words. Start with being grateful. And that could mean being grateful for a pen. But be grateful for a pen that you have, because that shifts and literally through neuroplasticity, studies have shown it changes the way your brain is wired when you practice gratitude. So speaking of gratitude, I'm super grateful for this incredible panel that we have this week. So let's go ahead and start rolling them in one by one. Look at these incredible individuals from all around the world that are going to be joining us this week. So welcome everyone to the Los Angeles Tribune panel right here on Amazon Fire TV. Let's do a brief introduction all across the board. Let us know who you are, a little bit about yourself. And then we're going to go ahead and just mention the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about gratitude. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Let's start with Jennifer.
Just Jennifer.
Gratitude is everything. When you focus on gratitude, like Natalie Forrest said, when you focus on gratitude, you get more of what you focus on, because we get what we focus on. So I'm constantly focusing on gratitude, whether I'm grateful for being alive today and I'm grateful for health. Grateful that we've survived this pandemic and we're still living and breathing. And so gratitude, everything. I run off of gratitude. My business runs off of gratitude. So that's my thought, Mo.
I love it. Thank you for that, Jennifer. Let's go to Sherry. Sherry, first of all, please introduce yourself a little bit. Let people know about your.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Go ahead, Sherry. The floor is yours.
All right. So I am a spiritual teacher, life mastery coach, and I help people to really align with the vibration of what we're talking about, gratitude. And, everything in the universe is energy. So gratitude is that higher vibration, and it's a much deeper resonance with abundance. And so every single one of us is worthy and deserving of abundance. And so gratitude is one of those feelings that we tap into that part of our heart. And as we do more and more of that, what happens is we build what's called heart coherence, and we put that out, and therefore we bring back a match more of what we are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said, Sherry. I couldn't agree more. Well, who wants to go next? I think I'm going to go to international. How about Heather? How are you, and what are your thoughts, Heather?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. So yeah, my name's Heather Block, and I am from Canada. So I guess everyone else is from the U.S. Funny enough, my husband and I are actually working on moving to the U.S. right now. So we actually had worked on it before COVID, and we were down there in Texas. But then COVID happened, so things kind of got put on pause. But so for me, gratitude, again, and just as everyone else has said so far, gratitude is so important. And I just want to share like a little secret with you guys. And that is, it's not happy people who are grateful. It's grateful people who are happy.
Ooh.
Just some food for thought.
Awesome. So well said. Who wants to follow that?
I go.
Okay, Sir Ash, please, you go next.
Yeah, just Ash. First of all, hello to everyone, and hello everyone to all our viewers there. Monday nights are very special. I'm Ashkan Tabibnia, founder of Tabibnia Group. We are a boutique Beverly Hills company that love to showcase experts and projects at a very personal level. We do positioning, high-level connections, and strategy. That being said, people ask me, Ashkan, why you always have this big smile on your face? And today the bunch that you guys brought in, I mean, look at Jennifer. It's like you already talked about vibration. She has high vibes. When we have gratitude is not just something we can remember. Sometimes if you don't know what that is, it's good to remember, write it down. Our parents, our health, being born, family, even small things like coffee, that's really good to remember. But it's a state of mind that if you can actually dive into, it activates certain vibrations. And when you are really living in that vibration most of the time, can we be that all the time? Probably not. But when you're that state, there is no void. That's why we are happy. That's why pessimist people or nothing negative will ever affect us. We are like vibrating over what's like, people are here and we are here. So tonight when I said this gratitude, this is one of the things I love. My parents taught us about gratitude. Sometimes there's so much going on. Well, let's focus on the things that really are amazing today, like being here with you amazing people. Back at you, Natalie.
All right. Well, last but of course not least, with that beautiful background of flowers, Katerina, what are your initial thoughts?
Hi, everybody. I'm Katerina Rando, serving women entrepreneurs on a mission, supporting them through speaking and selling to soar more in your business. And here's what I want to say. Gratitude is a feeling. Gratitude expressed is acknowledgement. And the beautiful thing about expressing gratitude is it actually expands the heart energy of the people that we're talking to. This is documented, that it literally gives them vitality and uplifts their life. So it's not only important to have gratitude, it's important to express gratitude, not just personally, but of course also in our business with our clients.
Wow. I love how we started out. So where do we go from here? I know that we're saying, Thanksgiving in the United States, Canada is a little earlier. My home country of Germany, completely different. So you're not by yourself, Heather. I'm
Natalie, it's interesting because as you know, a lot of the people that watch this program, I would say more than half are entrepreneurs and people that own their own businesses. We tend to attract a lot of leaders. And right now it's been a tough time for entrepreneurs. And yet, despite the fact that there's been a lot of turbulence for those of us that are in business, there's a lot to be grateful for. And my hope is that some of the people watching this, especially the entrepreneurs, come out of this week's episode realizing the gratefulness that they should be feeling instead of the despair. Be grateful that we have Zoom. Be grateful that we have opportunities that are now online. Be grateful that we are in a world now that can be connected. Be grateful that now more than ever before, it's become easier to start your own business. We live in a world, Natalie, where you no longer need to get up and drive to your local civic center to file for your LLC. You can do it with a couple clicks. You no longer need to hire someone for several $1,000s to design a website for you. Even you can do it, for $10 a month. I mean, everything has gotten so easy, so simple for people to do from the comfort of their home in many respects. So that's one example, Natalie, for a lot of entrepreneurs and leaders that are watching, is why don't we start shifting the mentality from a place of scarcity to a place of abundance? And I know Sherry talked a lot about this, so I want to start with her and Sherry, please get the ball rolling. And whoever feels inspired to talk, just hop in. Go ahead, Sherry. The floor is yours to just follow up on that.
Well, as we recognize that everything is a vibe, I mean, we know this is true because every environment we walk into, we can feel the vibes in the room. And just like Katarina was saying earlier, it's a feeling. So when we really begin to recognize the power of the moment, and how do we do that? It happens through awareness, and it's an individualized relationship that we begin to develop with ourselves. And so using gratitude as an example, when we wake up in the morning, what kind of habits are we creating for ourselves? Because it's really like brushing our teeth. I mean, we form the habit because it serves us. It's the same way with gratitude. One of the ways that I teach my clients to do that is I wake up in the morning and I do this whole 60-second thing in the mirror where I look at myself and I create that vibration of a smile on my face, and I start spewing out what I'm grateful for from present tense, as if it's already so now. I'm so happy and grateful that I get to laugh and smile and be so silly and playful in the mirror. But what I'm doing is I'm creating a feeling. It's that feeling that I'm putting out into the universe, which has its own sound wave, its own music. And what happens? I pull back more of what I'm being from. So as we develop these habits, what happens is we begin to show up in our now moments of today, what is a match with who we are? Because we never get what we need, ever. We get who we are being. And so I say, let's be from that place of playing full out.
That sounds great, Sherry. What you're talking about very much is you're talking about the feeling, and I want to add to that the mindset, because you feel gratitude, and now let's look at how do we have it serve us more in our lives. And one of the things to do is to look at what is your self-talk. Is your self-talk, I'm so depresso because we're living in a pandemic? Or is your self-talk, hey, what is the opportunity here? And, I've been telling my clients, this is a gold rush right now. I mean, a lot of my clients are speakers. We're speaking in states that we've never been to because we get to do it from our living room or our dining room or our office. We get to invite people to come and be with us that could never be with us before. I'm taking a hip hop dance class tomorrow night. I'm doing yoga. I'm doing circuit class, all from my dining room. I mean, that's exciting, right? And it's that mindset shift of, hey, yes, we're here, but how can we make it amazing? And the opportunity, by the way, to build community right now is never been better, because everybody wants to still connect, but we can't do it in live and in person. So I'd like to say to everybody, ask yourself, how can I have this situation serve my life and my business even more? And look at the mindset of it in addition to the feeling. Let's see how we can shift our mindset to create more miracles and amazing things in our lives.
I love the fact that you guys, both of you, the yin and yang, the feeling and the expression. What I want to add is gratitude. Sometimes, when we are happy, when things are going right in our lives, or, we are in a setting that just like what Katarina said, like COVID, all of a sudden, oh, wow, we have time for ourselves, for our family, puts us in that gratitude mood. What I want to add, mindset, is very important also, that sometimes when we are not to be so lucky to be in those mindsets and don't have those trainings, how most of the people who are not entrepreneurs and are really suffering from much pressure and what's going on in the news, and they can kind of invite gratitude to their heart, to their mind, to their being. One of the things that I always talk about is, prayers. When people are, lots of people, their religion is very good. It's like you go shopping. For some people, being a Muslim will make sense. For somebody that is Jewish, or somebody that, whatever excites you, when you find your calling, you need a higher purpose, right? And when you do that prayer, some people that are Orthodox or they're, in their religion, what they do, they learn to just say the prayers just because they said every day. What I do every morning when I do my prayers, I catch myself. I kind of connect to the higher being, in our case, we call him God. And when you do the prayers, and it could be in not a good mood, maybe you had a great day last night or something with the kids, when you disconnect and you allow yourself to connect to that higher power, everything that Katrina said, and also Sherry, then with the mindset, with your heart, the vibration, it actually, even if you're not, puts you in that state. How can you stay in that? Well, these are all the secrets that we are sharing. And again, I want to thank Mo and Natalie for tonight, because gratitude is not even thank. It's not like thank you. It's like probably it's like love. It's like an expression, right? And a feeling. So back at you guys, I really wanted to bring that side of it, that prayers and, being part of the higher power is actually okay to do.
It's very true. You have to, for gratitude, it's my firm belief, like I talked about in the beginning, is that it's all about what you focus on, especially now with everything that's going on. I find so many people when I'm working with clients too, is they're so focused on the lack of everything, the lack of income, the lack of business, the lack of all this stuff. But then they're surprised when they're attracting exactly more of that. They're getting more lack in their life, versus when you reflect on gratitude and shift your focus to what you're grateful for, you tend to attract more of what you're grateful for. So if you're grateful for even the small things, being alive today, having a roof over your head, food in your mouth, you will get more of what you focus on. So if you focus on and come from a place of gratitude, the universe will bring that to you in return. So whenever you're focused on that, you find that you get more of that into your life. Me and my mom who's my business partner, we're doing like an exercise so that we always love to practice everything before we teach our clients. And we did like 30 days of just focusing on gratitude. Like Sherry said, when you wake up in the morning, focus on gratitude. We spent a couple minutes and just write in our gratitude journal. It's also very important to do that before you go to bed, because how you end your day is how you start your morning. And so we focus again on gratitude, and we did that for 30 days just to gauge how different things would happen. And little things would happen that it was like, you can't explain it other than the fact that we came from gratitude. That little things would happen that, we got an extra discount, or all of these different things. That's just what happens when you come from gratitude. And on top of that, you feel so much better, don't you? Like, you can walk around and you're in a funk and then everything bad happens, or you can walk around and be in a place of gratitude and start appreciating everything, and you feel so much better. And it shows up in everything that you put out there, especially in your business.
So true, Jennifer. Like, just to add on to that. So for me personally, I feel like for a long time now, I've been kind of like a chronic silver liningist, if that's even a word. I'll make that word up. But for me, like, I've struggled with chronic pain now for over 15 years. And I feel like I'm finally been able to manage that pain. However, it's only been since that I've been able to say that chronic pain has actually been a blessing for me. So for me, I finally came to realize that without darkness, there is no light. So we would have no idea what is any sort of success is without the opposite. So like you had said, with lack, without lack, we would have no idea what abundance is. So for me, it was just kind of tying all that together, and it was a huge realization. And like I said, just to be grateful even for the bad things in your life. So even the things that, you know, at the time, I know when you're in them, they can feel so horrible, because I personally felt that with chronic pain. And when I finally started to realize that the opposite, you really need to be able to truly see how being grateful for even the bad things in your life is still very important.
It's a great point. It's a great point, because that is true, because the struggles and the challenges that you experience in your life is what leads you to what you are today. It's what leads you to the other side. And so it's a great point to be grateful for even the things that happen to you that some people would look at as in a bad light, as turn it into a positive. Good idea, Heather.
Yeah, like,
I can
sorry.
relate with that on so many levels, Heather and Jennifer. You know, in 1997, I had a heart attack and died. And I had the experience to the other side. And, you know, we're all at certain points. My family, you know, I was raised in religion. My family were ministers. And, you know, I came up during the 60s and the 70s, and I was led to believe that there was always something we needed to fear. And when we made mistakes or certain choices, that, you know, that the devil was going to come get us, or it was a sin. And so there was this point where I began to ask, you know, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Is this all there is in the suffering? I had gotten to the point that near-death experience happened as a result of me trying to be perfect, of me trying to meet up to the world's expectations of the perfect body, of, you know, saying the right things. And so when I had this trip to the other side, the thing that was so beautiful about it is we're not judged the day we die. We relook. We get to relook at all we've given, and we get to relook at all the things that we could call, you know, stealing, judging, but we get to feel it through all we've given too. But the gift, really, to be honest with you, was to be told that we create our own reality, that the greatest gift we've ever been given is to choose. And so from my perspective, the thing that was shown to me is the Sherry, from the Sherry that had already fulfilled her purposes here on earth, the unconditional loving side. But here's the rub, you guys. When I came back into the body, guess what? I experienced the opposite. Everything you're talking about, the contrast. And do you think, I mean, I'm walking homeless on the streets. I've lost all my hair. I gained 100 pounds overnight. But the thing that had been said to me in the light was that I never had to worry, that all the right people would show up at the right moment to help me move forward. That gave me the courage in each day to keep, like you said earlier, to focus on what I wanted. I wanted to be like we're doing right now, live, sharing solutions and tips and recipes to what we've acquired on our journey, the gift of all of that. And so talk about grateful. I mean, yeah. And Heather, what you said earlier about chronic illnesses and stuff like that, I had a second near death in 2004. And guess what I was told? I was going to die in 6 months without a heart transplant. Instead of connecting to the appearance of dis-ease in the body, I went inward and I began to visualize everything in my body operating from its highest capacity. And every day I would be from the place that was already true. 3 years later, I healed to 100%. And today they can't show signs of me having ever had heart attacks. And I've had 2 of them. So what you guys are sharing is, you know, gratitude. You talk about gratitude, but it's intentional as well, like Jennifer was saying.
You know, you guys are sharing about case studies. I love how the group is really sequencing from the background and some philosophy, mindset, heart, and now we are sharing our personal, I want to say, challenges. You know, my father was born blind, and he was a Sufi, and he was one of my teachers. And then my mom was an orphan at 3, and you know, he was adopted into a family. But then at 8 years old, after 5 years, they started using her just as not a slave, but just do everything for the family. 33, she got married to my father. And my father, it's a long story, but I'm going to focus on my mom. He passed about 86. He decided to go himself. And my mom, after serving them and, our family Persians, they always help each other, she got Parkinson's after having breast cancer, having a couple of surgeries. One time she had an accident and from her knee was completely severed and they put it back. And my mom and my father too, but mostly my mom, has never, ever complained in her life because she has always that gratitude and happiness and thankfulness of just whatever it is. Like as we speak here, she's 79, 4 years into her new disease that it's called, when you shake, what is that called for a second? She got Parkinson's and she's completely paralyzed. She had a stroke. She cannot see from the right eye. I used to go there and pick her up when they allowed before COVID. And because lack of movement, her right knee is completely frozen, right? And it's just that she has zero people to meet her. And just every Sunday, I go to the rehab. She got COVID, survived. I go there, and from behind some kind of a metal doors, like a prison, they allow me to see her. And she tells me, how are you? I said, how? She cannot eat anymore too, because she was asphyxiated. We lost her, we brought her back, and they just give her now food from the stomach. You have to understand this lady after all these years. If you see her, big smile, as we are here, as though nothing is going on. And when I, just so I don't feel bad. That's the power of adversity. And when you really take that and turn it, honestly, I think that's the ultimate gratitude. So it's a pleasure to have all women just celebrating my mom's life, that is Leah Ahbab, which is complete love.
I love hearing your guys' stories. Like it's so good. I'd actually love to share a story. I actually have it written out. So it's playing with everything we've just kind of been saying. And I'm just like shaking because I just love this stuff. It's so interesting to me. So I'm just going to read this right off my computer. And it's and basically it's how gratefulness is directly related to your mindset as well, like Katarina was saying. So there were two girls. One was living her life to the fullest with a successful career, amazing husband, and beautiful children. The other was married to an alcoholic, a drug addict, and was also one herself. The first always found the silver linings, practiced daily gratitudes, and was consistently growing and learning. The second was bitter about her past, had a sense of entitlement, believed all men were evil, and blamed her father for being unhappy and broke. The thing is, these two were actually twins. So they both grew up in the exact same home with the same abusive alcoholic father. So I don't even remember who was saying that, but it's just so interesting how it's the choice, right? I believe it was Sherry that was saying that how much it's about choice. You can grow up the exact same way. So in closing, a wise man once said, if you're going to blame your father for your failures and your shortcomings in life, you better also thank him for your successes in life.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Heather, for sharing that incredible story. And those of you that study neurolinguistic programming know about the reframe. And, Katarina, you look like you had something interesting you did want to share with us. Let's go ahead and have you take the floor for a moment. Katarina, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I love everyone's shares. And, what we're speaking about with your mom has a positive disposition. And it's a choice, right? Everybody, attitude is a choice, and we can choose. By the way, one of my favorite books is 100 Simple Secrets of Happy People. And the author says that, there's studies that show you simply by setting the intention, I'm going to be more positive, you can take your daily negative and worrying thoughts from 70%, which is the average person. I know this is a VIP group, and I know the listeners are probably not that high, but that's the average person. We can take them all the way down to 40%. And this elite group, probably 30%, simply by setting the intention, I'm going to be more positive. I want to say something, though. We have been talking a lot about like what we can do and our personal stories. And I want to say that it's very important to identify that It is through uplifting others, expressing gratitude to others, that we not only uplift ourselves, but we uplift others also. You will see people light Christmas trees when you express them. And now is the time to call people you haven't talked to in years and invite people to get together. I got invited to a friend Thanksgiving. I don't know, something. Yes, get together with your friends on Friday, or get together, invite people to come to a Zoom room and express gratitude over the phone, over email. One of the actual challenges that I've given my clients is what I call it the acknowledgement challenge, which is every day, every time you talk to anybody, from the person when you're paying your phone bill, to the person delivering your mail, to your clients, to your team, to your loved ones, to express gratitude or acknowledgement in every conversation. And that will uplift your life, but it will uplift all the people around you and make your relationships better. And I really want to emphasize that. Like, we talk about gratitude as an inside job, yes, and it's also an activity that we do every day with the people in our lives.
You're watching Monday Night Live right here on Amazon Fire TV. We're at the halfway mark of the show. And as we go to the second half of the program, I'd like the panelists to start changing the conversation and start going into a little more of practical steps that people can take. We know that there's a lot of people watching right now. The virtual auditorium is going crazy with comments. And there's some people out there that are just not feeling grateful right now. There's a lot of people out there that are in a funk. There's a lot of people out there that are feeling helpless, that are feeling hopeless, that feel like they don't have the power to really change their life. There's a lot of people out there that just don't feel like they have control. And, you know, as we discussed earlier, Dr. Forrest, the power comes from the gratitude. The gratitude is the foundational component. Without the gratitude, you could never have success, because it's the foundational component, especially for those that right now are feeling hopeless, helpless, and quite frankly, lost. So, you know, Dr. Forrest, I know that you've spent so much time working with people and helping people have practical solutions to, you know, esoteric problems, if you will, or existential problems. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like you, Natalie, if you would take off the host hat and put on the panelist hat, just because I think that this subject matter is very fitting. Get the ball rolling with what are some practical steps that people can do to start really getting into the habit of being grateful in an authentic way. And then I'd like everyone to touch base on, as we wrap up the program here in the last 27 odd minutes or so, about what is something that people can do to start shaping and transforming their mindset. Dr. Forrest, please get the ball rolling, and then let's get the floor active with whoever has something to say in their heart.
Well, thank you, Mo. And I think some of the action steps were already mentioned, right? It is so hard. I first want to address it can be so hard for people who are in a funk. I loved your personal stories, because it can be really, really difficult if you're in pain. However, if we remember some of the things that Mother Teresa said, right? No war has ever been won because of the word war. If you approach it differently and you approach it with love, you can win it. So it's just like, you know, if you love something, then you can let it go. If you're constantly battling something, it's much, much harder. And so when it comes to action steps, like some of the amazing panelists, I just adore all of you, including, you know, the male, if I can say adore. So I think it starts with us, right? So it always, for me, goes back to self-love. And so what am I grateful for? And if I cannot be grateful for something that I am, then I will not be able to accept or receive gratitude. So learning how to receive gratitude, if somebody smiles at you, smile back, even if it feels really, really weird because you don't know that person. And if somebody says, especially to us ladies, oh, that's a pretty dress, don't say, well, yeah, it's really an old thing, you know, but take it in and say, yes, it is. And I look really good in it. not, with arrogance, but accept the gratitude, because we need to allow it in first. The other piece that I really think is important, and I think a number of you mentioned to it, it's my morning routine. Before I wake up, before I get out of bed, I say something positive. The alarm clock rings, I try to shut it off like 4 or 5 times. But in the end, I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be an awesome day. You're going to make a really, really happy life today. And then, of course, for me, the next really, really good thing is I get to see my daughter. How can I not be grateful for that? But those would be some action steps for me. And I know that we're all in alignment. So who wants to go next? What are some of your action steps?
Yeah, I go. One thing that when I have clients, I work with them, is nothing is better than getting a journal as such and fresh, and start journaling. First of all, for people who really are looking for answers, how to even start the mindset and everything that we discussed in order to get the gratitude, is taking an inventory of your life, in the area of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and also financial. Just write down on one side, and don't write negative. Don't write like this side, the negative side, or the lack. Just call it challenges. And write down whatever comes to your mind. Just write down that side. These are the things I have challenges with. And on the other side, in that area, write all the positive things that you can think of. That starts the ball rolling. And then one thing that I really recommend people who are out there and they really cannot see eye to eye, or cannot see why we're happy or we have smiles on, just get out. Sometimes you've just been home so many months. Just get out. Just like tomorrow, action item, like our wonderful Katrina told us. Go to McDonald's tomorrow. Pick up 10 food packages.
Sold. Ashkan, as soon as you said go to McDonald's tomorrow, sold. I don't need to hear the rest. You got it.
Yeah, go. And there are many, many homelesses all around. And give those packages to 10 people, because what happens when we help others, if we have lots of issues, when you have a problem, if you help somebody else with the same problem, you forget about yours. So journaling, helping others, talking about your story to other people, because sometimes, when you're feeling so bad and negative, you hear somebody else's story. Oh my God, I'm very good. I feel blessed. Gratitude rolls in, right? And visiting when you can. Children's hospital, right? I used to take my client there. Take a look at that kid. Or I used to just people who just complain and they hard me. I would take him to the Skid Row and I would tell them, you have to sleep here at night. So these are the actions that, again, the journaling, helping others, visiting elderly and sick people. Just a bunch of these together will start you on the right path with the right mindset.
I love what you've said about the journaling and the going and the doing, and those are all such great ideas. And sometimes we can't go, right? We have to, and especially right now, we have to stay. One of the things I want to say is that we all have learned how to say thank you. And Pankaj, if I said it right, Pankaj put in the chat that he just said thank you to his Amazon driver. Yay, that's awesome. Thank you is thanking someone for what they've done. But I want to say that there's a way more uplifted aspect to acknowledgement, and that is when you let people know how it's impacted you. So I could say thank you for your share, or I could say thank you for your share. I appreciate your passion, not just what you did, but how you did it. Or I could say, thank you for your share. I appreciate your passion, and you inspire me. And that's the part that most people miss, is letting people know how what they're doing and how they're being is impacting us. Because if you want to really see people be positively impacted, because I totally agree, help other people. And if you can't get out and help other people, let them know on the phone or with the text or with the
Zoom.
With Zoom, let them know how they're impacting you. And you will see their smiles light up. One of the things that I got to do today was tell some clients how I've seen them grow and thrive over the year. And you would, their smiles got so big. And especially because sometimes we think, oh, you know, these other people, they're so successful already, I don't need to tell them. Well, you know what? Everybody can use more acknowledgement, more encouragement. And no matter how amazing your life is, and by the way, just because everybody looks good on screen doesn't mean their life is amazing, right? We all have low self-esteem days. We all have days we can use a boost. And the more we uplift others through our words, the more we will be uplifted ourselves. And it is like a muscle. It's like remembering names. And the more we look at embracing that in our life, the more people we're going to uplift. So I want to emphasize that, because there's so many things we've talked about, but the more we say to other people how they're impacting us and how it's uplifting us, the more we will uplift others.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think there's such truth in bringing it back to the present moment. I mean, that's one of the things that if you look back on all the philosophers and some of the greatest leaders that have ever come to our planet, their primary message has been live in the moment and be from your point of power in the moment. And what Katarina's saying is just so powerful and so beautiful, because the more aware we are in the moment of maybe just listening to what somebody else is saying, because people want to be heard. They feel grateful when they're heard. And then here you get to come back and you get to say, wow, that really impacted my life, what you've shared with me. I'm so grateful for you and this message that you've shared with me in the moment. You know, because just like Katarina was saying, it's like building a muscle. You know, we go to the gym and we're just starting out to exercise and we can't lift heavy weights. And that's how changing these ways that we think and what we align with become more powerful and we grow that muscle, is because what happens is when we live in the moment, we're creating baby steps, little moments of pockets of time throughout the moments of today. We're more aware of what we're actually grateful for. I mean, some of the ways that I do that with my own self is I have a journal as well, and every morning I have 10 things that I write that I'm grateful for. But as I said earlier, I write them from the present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that, because when we write it from the present tense as if it's already so, we're building a neural pathway, and we're also growing that or building that reticular activator system where we begin to notice more things of what we're grateful for, because they're going to show up in our lives all over the place because we're more intentional. And so, you know, it's just these thoughts and behaviors that as we create that intention of growing this habit of reaching for more great gratitude, that we begin to build that muscle. And I just love what you said, Katarina. That's super beautiful. Thank you.
You're watching Monday Night Live right here on Amazon Fire TV on the Los Angeles Tribune channel. And Sherry, you really said some incredible gems in there for those that were paying attention. And I hope the people watching at home are taking notes, because there's some real powerful gems of wisdom that we've been able to share with this fantastic panel this evening. One of which, Sherry, is to be in the moment. And, you know, as you and I know, because we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, Sherry, a lot of people suffer from something called analysis paralysis, right? And that's constantly being stuck in the head about a future that does not yet even exist. And because they're stuck in analysis paralysis, they fail to take the appropriate actions to get the results. And I know Ashkan can relate. I know Jennifer can relate. I know Heather can relate. Katarina can relate. Dr. Natalie Forrest, who's behind the green room somewhere, she can relate. And you know, I want to take this to Jennifer, because one thing I know about Jennifer is she is the founder of the trademark, the Mindset Diet. You know, we all hear about the Atkins diets and different kinds of diets for the body, but Jennifer actually trademarked and coined that term, the Mindset Diet, where she talks a lot about what you're talking about, Sherry. So I'd like Sherry to touch base on that as we wrap up this program in the final 15 minutes here. Kind of in conclusion, Jennifer, to take the floor for a few minutes and a couple minutes and just really take the floor. The floor is yours.
Oh, he cut off. Okay. So to piggyback off of what everybody in these beautiful panel has said is, so we always, it's so easy to focus on the now, right? What are we grateful for right now? And if there's a lack, and if you're struggling in any area, it's hard. You know, I find that it's hard for people to focus on gratitude when there is a lack in their life. But what about the future, right? I'm very big on the universe, universal law. And what about, instead of only being grateful for now, why can't you be grateful for what the universe is going to bring you in the future? So like Mo said, I am the founder of the Mindset Diet, and I created an entire diet program around mindset because I believe that mindset is what it's all about, right? You can lose the weight, but then people gain it back, and then they lose it, then they gain it back. And why is that? Because they haven't fixed their mindset. And so when I started out on my weight loss journey, by the way, I was 220 pounds when I had my daughter. And I thought it was just because I was pregnant. And then all of a sudden I dropped all the weight. But I dropped 90 pounds in less than a year. And I did that because I started here. I started with my mindset, and I didn't focus on what I was grateful for necessarily now, but I focused on what I was grateful for that the universe was going to bring into my life. So I focused on the fact that I was grateful for becoming sexy. I was grateful for being, for getting doors open for me, for all of these things that came with an external figure. And so I focused on being grateful for things that I wanted the universe to bring me. And because of that, the universe brought me exactly that. So you can focus on what you're grateful for now, because always know that there's someone out there that it has it worse than you. So I don't care if you're living in a studio apartment with $10 in your bank account. You've got to be grateful for the $10 in your bank account and for that roof over your head. Because when you're grateful for $10 in your bank account, the universe gives you more of what you're grateful for. So they're going to give you more money. More money is going to come into your realm. So focus on gratitude. I don't care if there's 50 cents in your account. It doesn't matter. It's focused on being grateful for what it is that you have. And then also future project it. In my journal, I always focus on what am I grateful for right now? And then what am I also grateful for that the universe is going to provide for me? So I'm grateful for, I haven't even launched my new program yet, but I'm grateful for the sales that are going to come in from that program, right? Because the universe is going to bring that to me. So you can focus on what you're grateful for now, but also focus on what you're grateful for that you want to come into your life. If you want more business, if you want more money, if you want a better place to live, be grateful for it now. Therefore, the universe knows exactly what it is that you want. Same with my weight loss. I was grateful for the 90 pounds lost before I had ever lost it. So because of that, the universe gave me that blessing of dropping that weight. I could literally eat, yesterday I had Korean barbecue and we were gorging on all that delicious yumminess. And yet I still didn't gain any weight because I'm always grateful for the health and my body. And because of that, the universe provides. So do that. And if you're feeling in a fun tip is just to smile. Smile for 90 seconds, hold the smile, and it will change your mood around, and be grateful.
Jennifer, between you and Ashkan, the two of you are really making me hungry. One is talking about Korean barbecue. The other is talking about McDonald's. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to go to a restaurant when the show is done. Both of you have got me hungry. Speaking of Ashkan, one thing I know about the Tabib Nia group is the Tabib Nia group specializes in really making dreams come true for a lot of people. A lot of people come to Ashkan and say, look, I have a successful business, but I want to be more successful. And in some capacity, to a more limited extent, because I know you're busy, Ashkan, but a lot of people come to you with a new business idea. And I want to go to you, Ashkan, because I know you personally, and I've seen with my own eyes, you transform so many lives, so many businesses. And I know you've had to deal with a lot of people afraid to take action, afraid to take the steps necessary to become successful, and you deal with that a lot in your line of work. So what's something practical that you can say kind of in conclusion as we're getting close to wrapping up this week's program to help people that are stuck, Ashkan, people that don't know, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I go backwards? Where should I go? What should I do? I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then before you know it, 1 year has passed, and the only thing that happens when you don't actually take action for a whole year is you become 1 year older and twice as frustrated. So Ashkan, what do you say to people that just don't know what direction to go?
something that people have to understand, all of us are, we do some things at ease because it's our daily routine and etc. For people that they can take initiative, that's wonderful. For people who cannot, they have to look at their portfolio. What are the 3 things that they are very good at? Like, they have to really think about it, because when we are good at 3 things, we don't actually, it's not conscious anymore. We have to say, okay, like how Sherry was saying, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself this question: what am I good at? 3 things, right? And it could be anything. And take those 3 things and start doing it for others, for the people who want to kind of create that initiative. But I really want to focus on one thing that Katrina said, because all of us discuss many solutions, journaling, these and the other, and I really thought about what she said, and I had a awakening myself. Nothing in life is better than clarity. I had a list that I wanted to read for you guys, but there's no time. And simplicity. She started like, this week is what? Thanksgiving. And we all have to do 2 things. By the way, guys, this is everybody's homework, and I'm going to finish up with that. Smile all day tomorrow, and this week, do what you started. I'm going to start a hashtag by Katrina. Thank you movement.
Yes.
And because if you're in the street, you're smiling, take off the mask, smile. And what she did, she already aroused and ignited our wonderful friend that said, I just said thank you to my, right there, Mr. Panjai. He just said, at the moment when she suggested, he said thank you to his UPS gentleman. So I want to start this amazing thing after Mr. Panjai and Katrina. I want to say thank you to Mo for his vision. I want to thank Dr. Natalie and Goldie and Joe, and there's lots of people behind LA Tribune, guys. I want to thank you for you guys to creating this Monday night, so we can come and not just share about life story and some mindset, just to be together. And I want to continue by thanking Sherry and Katrina and Jennifer and Heather and everyone. Rhonda, my wonderful friend here, all my sisters from IDM movement that are here, everyone that is watching live now on Firefox, on Fire TV, on Facebook, thank you for being here with us. And that's my declaration.
Amazing, Ashkan, and thank you for that. And you can see by just some of the comments in the virtual auditorium that you practice what you preach with the Tabibnia group and with the work that you do, because here you are talking about making a difference for people. And we've had so many comments in the virtual auditorium talking about you, Ashkan. So you're living proof.
That was from that acknowledgement goes to Katrina. She started that.
And we're going to do presidential debate style here. Yes, and Ashkan, we're going to do presidential debate style because Katarina, your name was mentioned, so we have to go to you for 60 seconds. Katarina, what do you say to that in conclusion as we wrap it up? The floor is yours.
I say to Ashkan, Tuesday around.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh, that's Persian for I love you. Oh my God, you made my night already. I'm blushing.
You made my night. You've warmed my heart. Thank you so much. And that's the thing, when we express gratitude and acknowledgement, we light people up. And it really is like remembering names. It's a skill that we will begin to do better and better at. And we will watch. Everybody's going to want to talk to us. Everybody's going to want to be with us, because what happens, which we didn't say, is when we express our gratitude to others, they feel seen. They feel gotten. And the other thing is they feel our love and appreciation. And that's what this is all about. It's about us expressing our love and appreciation. Because you know what? Love is something that we want to bring to our business even more. right? Love is not, you don't leave love at the door and then you go do business. No, express your love through your business. And you do that through your gratitude and your appreciation. And everyone that's watching tonight, if you simply say, okay, I'm going to embrace expressing my gratitude even more, I'm going to get really good at acknowledgement, your life will be uplifted, your business will be uplifted, and you're going to uplift everybody you touch. And that's what it's all about, right? Whatever business we're in, really, we're in the uplift business. That's what I said to myself when the pandemic hit. I said, you know what? I'm going to move forward every day with an attitude of uplift for myself and for everybody I touch. And I invite you all to do the same.
Thank you, Katarina. As someone who I know is relating to that, because I see how active she's been over the course of the pandemic, is Sherry. And Sherry, you know, I see that you're constantly focused, putting great material out there, creating content, and being proactive. And just, you know, in your concluding thoughts, and as we wrap the program up, Sherry, what are your final thoughts on this week's show? Your final thoughts on what this panel accomplished this week, and what you want to leave the audience with globally? We have people from Canada that are leaving comments, and just from people from all around the world. Sherry, what is your message today in conclusion that you want to share? The floor is yours.
Well, I just want to say one, thank you, each and every one of you, for the gift that you are. I mean, all of you on the panel, you are an amazing gift. And one of the things that are so important to realize for all of us is, as we are becoming more of these people from love, like Katarina was saying, those are the people we're attracting into our lives. Look at the people that you're pulling into your life. I like to call it your vibrational reader meter, because that's always showing you a piece of yourself. And so when something's showing up that doesn't feel good, you know, don't feel guilty and don't feel shame. And you don't even need to feel forgiveness. Look at it and say, thank you. Thank you with love. Because the more that we tap into that loving part of ourselves, we're extending that out to everyone in the universe. We're all one. We are united in oneness. We're not separate from each other. And so when we come together in that higher vibration of love, believe it or not, we shift the entire universe. And that's what we're all here to do, is to hold a space to remember who we all truly are. That every single person on this panel doesn't have anything that you don't have yourself. Each and every one of you is that special, and we're grateful for your reason for coming to the planet, because all of us together are going to make this world a better place that we all deserve living in.
Wow, Sherry, I couldn't have said it better myself. And I hate to do this to her, because that's a tough act to follow, Sherry. I think I should have saved you for last. But Heather, what are your concluding thoughts and your final words that you want to share with the audience as we wrap up this week's episode of Monday Night Live right here on Amazon Fire TV? Heather, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a hard act to follow. That was beautiful, Sherry. And all of you guys is so great. I'm so grateful. And to say with your vibration, the people that you attract, I'm just so, everyone that's listening to this, you should be proud right now that you've attracted these people into your life, because everyone on this panel is so fantastic. But I just want to say, I'm filling up and everything. I just want to say, I think that everyone should leave and tomorrow get up and do something that you love. If you don't feel grateful right now, force it. Just do something that makes you absolutely happy in the moment, in the present time. And that's it for me.
Amazing. Take action. Do something you love. Do something you're grateful for, and be in the present moment while you're doing it. I mean, so many gems of wisdoms that we heard this week. I want to thank this incredible panel for graciously sharing their time and their insights with the world. This is how we make a difference and actually become active participants on the court, and not just on the field, but actually on the court, making a difference. So I want to acknowledge all of you for being leaders and being part of the future generation that's going to make this world a better place than it was than the moment we got here. And Dr. Forrest, you know, what do you feel about this week's episode as we wrap it up here on Monday Night Live?
I want to say I am just even more grateful than when I started. because I knew this was going to be important. I knew it was going to be good. And I am grateful that we have been able to connect what some people would call the woo-woo stuff, which some of us refer to as more of the energetic vibrational stuff, with action steps, because they do go together. So I am grateful, using what Jennifer said, for all the people who are going to see this later on in replays, because right now they weren't able to make it, and they're going to be so grateful. And they're going to share that movement and that gratitude message. So I could not be happier. And I think one other aspect that I am going to be grateful for is that all of us are going to meet again very soon.
Absolutely. And speaking of practical spirituality, Natalie, speaking of taking the esoteric, the mystic, the quote unquote woo-woo, and bringing it down to a place that we can apply for our businesses, for our lives, and increase things mentally, physically, relationally, mark down your calendars, because February 20th and 21st, we have the first Los Angeles Tribune event that's going to be featuring so many big names. And we're going to just announce a couple of them today. Dr. Joe Vitale, Lisa Nichols, you may have seen them on Oprah, you may have read some of their best-selling books, and we have many more big names that are going to help with exactly what you just talked about, Dr. Forrest, taking the esoteric, taking the mystical, and putting it in a practical place. And I want to wrap up this week's show with Jennifer. Jennifer, in conclusion, what is it that you would like to say to close out this week's episode? And then I want to just thank everyone once again for being on the panel, and thank all of those in the virtual auditorium for engaging and being a part of the show, because, you know, this show, we break that fourth wall. You know, we have the audience be a part of the show. And so Jennifer, final thoughts, and then we're going to end the stream, and we'll see you all back here, same place, same time. Jennifer, the outro is yours.
Oh, nothing like pressure. Okay. I am grateful for the Los Angeles Tribune, Mo Rock, Natalie Forrest, and all of the viewers, because the fact is this wouldn't be the show if we didn't have the viewers. So you have to always be grateful. There's two sides to every coin. There would be no business if we had the consumers. So thank you. And I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for every opportunity that comes my way. And just focus on gratitude. Gratitude should not just surround Thanksgiving and November. Gratitude should be a daily thing that's incorporated into your everyday routine, because like I said, at the bare minimum, it makes you feel good. And who doesn't want to feel good? So it makes you feel good, and it spreads, like Katarina says, it spreads joy. You never know, just by appreciating and acknowledging someone else. I did an entire speech about this in college, is it can honestly change somebody's entire life by just showing that you're grateful for them. Okay, everybody, every day of the week goes to work and thinks that they don't matter and that they don't make a difference, and showing how grateful you are. Because if we didn't have the people bagging our groceries, if we didn't have the people doing the little things in this world, the world would not be able to operate. So be grateful for everybody in your life, everything in this world, because without them, we wouldn't have the world we have. And simply showing some gratitude can honestly change somebody's entire life. I had a client that literally told me her client was contemplating suicide, and throughout her suicide note, the minute she was able to speak and really knew that she had a purpose, and that is fulfilling. So be grateful for everything and everybody, and live your life in full of gratitude. And I promise you, the universe will deliver more of what you're grateful for. How was that?
Thank you for that. That was amazing. And
Beautiful.
thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next week. This has been a presentation of the Los Angeles Tribune.